Well, lots to discuss here. I
There's
think
so much. Where do you want to start?
Well, I think the big takeaway for me is that, I mean, Erika Trump, I can't even imagine what she's going through, but there's no way that she's a star. She's fantastic. I thought her comments were very moving. I thought her forgiveness of the shooter was moving. It was.
I agree.
Really well done at a moment where
immense
I can't
strength.
believe she even has the presence to be.
High strength. It took a lot of strength to say what she said pertaining to Tyler Robinson. Certain people, they misunderstand or they pretend to when they hear her say she forgives the shooter. When she says she forgives the shooter, she is not saying she condones the transgressions the shooter did or excuses the transgressions the assailant committed. She's not saying she's fond of the shooter, of the person who slaughtered her husband. She's not saying she is this isn't an endorsement of what Tyler did or support of what he did. She condemns what he did. She despises what he did. She abhors what he did. She abominates. She detests what the shooter did. She really does detest what the shooter committed, but she is still forgiving him. She's forgiving the shooter because it is beneficial for her peace. Forgiveness is not for him, it is for her. It is for her peace. It is a releasing of herself from the cage of anger, from the prison of anger. It is a releasing, it is a freeing from the cage of rage, of fury, of angriness. Yeah, it is a releasing. This isn't her saying she lauds what the assailant did, or saying she loves what he did. She doesn't, but she is doing this for her peace. She is forgiving him for her peace. It isn't for Tyler, it is for her.
When she's a star, she's fantastic. Moment where
that is worthy of commendation and praise
on camera,
yes.
And to help the millions of people who are her forgiveness of the shooter was moving. It was really well done at a her forgiveness of the shooter. When she's a star, she's fantastic. I thought her comments were very moving. I thought her forgiveness of the shooter was moving. It was really well done at a moment where I can't believe she even has the presence to be powerful on camera and to help the millions of people who are grieving Charlie Kirk to not the same degree she is, but to guide them through that process.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, and she's an incredible woman with an amazing future in the conservative movement.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't even fathom
she's
the level
the CEO
of
now of TPUSA.
But to guide them through that process,
a big role, a big position,
with an amazing future,
a huge position.
Yeah, I couldn't even fathom the level of grief she's dealing with, especially being a mother and knowing that they don't have a dad anymore. And I was talking to Amber about this because I know she has
Amber Duke.
She's
a commentator on the Hill too. Amber Duke, a right-wing pundit.
Anymore.
A conservative
and I was talking to Amber about this because
commentator.
I know she has this new position, and I just was trying to understand and empathize and think about a mom and
did she deliver too, Amber Duke? She has a kid too. If so, congrats.
Empowered based on both of her recent speeches, and I know that she can do it because I think that women are fantastic in that way when pedals to the metal to accomplish things. But I also understand that there's a lot going on when you're dealing with any grief, let alone the grief of your husband and children's father.
Bereavement.
So I just was asking Amber at that time, does she think that this will be more of a figurehead role and somebody can be in there actually doing the day-to-day? Because this is a big job. I mean, what they say, like thousands and tens of thousands of new chapters might want to open up a whole leadership role. So I really do wish her the best and continue in this journey for herself.
Sometimes throwing yourself into hard work is how you can overcome grief, honestly.
I was alarmed, I'm not going to lie, so I thought her speech was beautiful and separate from what
Laudable.
President Trump did. He obviously thought it was separate because he said, Erika Kirk, maybe she can reel me in.
Yeah,
but I mean,
to be fair, he did say that. Trump did. It won't be easy to change Trump's mind when it comes to the left, or not, or meant to say it will be hard to cause Trump to be less radical when discussing the left. Yeah, he calls people on the left radical lunatics. Even people. Trump he bugs. Yeah. A lot of leftists that he calls radical are radical. Don't get it twisted. I agree that a lot of leftists are radical for sure. The way they discuss MAGA, conservatives, Republicans, right wingers, they are nasty. They manipulate. They lie. They slander. They asperse. They traduce. Yes, they should be called radicals. Those particular people. Those particular people. Yes, but not the whole left. People have to stop saying the left, they and all of the left, all leftists are terrorists, radicals, wokies, evil, demons, devils. It doesn't lead to more harmony or more unity. It really does lead to more disharmony, more animus, more division, more divisiveness, more hatred, more bigotry, more BS.
I was alarmed, I'm not going to lie, so I thought her speech was beautiful and separate from what President Trump did. He obviously thought it was separate because he said, Erika Kirk, maybe she can reel me in.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be in a moment on the heels of such a dramatic and tragic...
It was crazy of him to say he hates his political opponents after he said Charlie did not hate his opponents. Trump said he disagrees with Kirk. He hates his political opponents. I get it because of the stuff a lot of leftists did to him. Lied on him, said mendacious things. Certain leftists, a lot of leftists, not all, but many leftists did slander Trump and say Trump said stuff he didn't say. Unfair-ish, bro. But to say he hates all of his to say he hates his political opponents at Kirk's funeral is crazy, bro. To say this at a funeral, bro, is crazy. This isn't being respectful or honoring of Kirk. Nah, this is the opposite. This is hypocritical. This is antithetical to honor of Kirk. He thought he was honoring Kirk, but he really wasn't. He was being divisive, saying in other words that anybody who disagrees with him is the enemy, the op. This includes the whole left and non-Trumpers on the right. This includes those the leftists and righties who are non-Trumpers. Yes, he's saying he's lumping all of these people in the same box. He's saying they all are terrible, villainous. They're all enemies of him, bro, because they disagree politically. It isn't unifying or uniting or bringing people together. It really isn't uniting people. It is tearing. It is causing a bigger divide, bigger division, a bigger schism, schism, schism. It is getting even bigger. Yeah, we have to chill. People on both teams have a lot of a plenitude of people on both teams must chill, bro. They really must chill, because if they don't chill, decay will befall, collapse will befall, bro. No cap.
Brilliant. But I mean, to be in the moment on the heels of such a dramatic and tragic incident like this,
yes,
to say I hate my enemies and use it,
crazy,
and turn it to
nasty,
masquerade this memorial service and make it feel like a political rally. I just thought that was poor timing. Like, there's always a
crappy, fecal, yes.
The president, I say this word, I feel like too
you
often.
must have civility
with President Trump, and it's not because
in
every
these
time you have to be to this certain
settings.
Somebody was assassinated for political reasons.
Yes.
So that's a moment to be presidential, and I just felt like it missed the mark in that moment to try to figure out how
Rest in peace, Kirk.
Separate even more.
Kirk, one of the greatest debaters ever.
But I agree.
I mean, it's a memorial service. Yeah, there's another time for this. And saying Charlie Kirk would want tariffs. Like, what?
Well,
I just feel like that wasn't the time.
I mean, Charlie Kirk is a very political figure, so there's going to be some discussion of politics, obviously, at this memorial event. But just in particular, I hate my enemies. He didn't even say, like, I hate the enemies of Charlie Kirk. It was about me. My enemies.
Self-centered.
At a thing where...
Self-centeredness.
Religious...
Crappy. Trash.
Well, the wife just said she forgave her husband.
I hate the enemies of Charlie Kirk. It was about me. My enemies. At a thing where... At a religious, quasi-religious event.
Well, the wife just said she forgave her husband.
Right. I think it undercut that message a little bit. So it was not... In my view,
more than a little bit, but
it was not his most presidential moment, in my view.
It was
crappy.
crappy.
I think that
it was
we
trash.
should allow space to move on to AOC and Jasmine Crockett, for people to have disagreed with his thoughts, but understand that what AOC was calling for is to say that, yes, we should.
It's not, in my view, everyone loves Trump and screaming.
When I say I refer to Trump's speech.
And I think
it was trash.
We should allow space to move on to AOC and Jasmine Crockett, for people to have disagreed with his thoughts, but understand that what AOC was calling for is to say that, yes, we should put something forward, a resolution forward to condemn any acts of political violence.
Yes.
I don't think that everybody in the chamber has to say it needs to be named after Charlie Kirk, because obviously he welcomed conversation and disagreement.
Debate, dialogue.
What I understand is that the day that he's being honored is the same day as George Floyd's birthday, right? And so there's a lot of conversation around that. But the fact that he said before, and I want to make sure I got this right, quote, George Floyd was a father and didn't deserve to die, yet still a scumbag. It's like he said these words around somebody. We want to fire people for doing the same thing about Charlie Kirk. You know,
I don't want to fire anyone for criticizing Charlie Kirk, nor do I want to fire
a lot of people do. I mean, a lot of people might have called people to get their job. And so that's kind of like, you can say Jasmine Crockett doesn't have to agree with the fact that on George Floyd's birthday, we're calling it Charlie Kirk Day when he referred to George Floyd as a scumbag.
When people criticize Charlie Kirk, they're criticizing things he said. When people criticize George Floyd, they're criticizing the fact that
his behavior,
the way that he chose to live,
his illegality. Floyd's, he put a gun to a woman's belly, a pregnant woman's belly, bro. Craziness, bro. Yeah, Floyd, he was a miscreant. He really was. But it was sad that he died in the way he did. He should still be living, but he wasn't a good person. It is what it is.
And so that's kind of like, you can say Jasmine Crockett doesn't have to agree with the fact that on George Floyd's birthday, we're calling it Charlie Kirk Day when he referred to George Floyd as a scumbag.
When people criticize Charlie Kirk, they're criticizing things he said. When people criticize George Floyd, they're criticizing the fact that he was
the way that he chose to live.
That he committed multiple crimes, including threatening.
The fact is that he didn't deserve to die, neither did Charlie Kirk.
Yeah,
right, and that's where kind of like that's
right,
where the
and we get into why we're critiquing their personal. But anyway, I don't care. A congressional resolution makes no difference to me. I actually would prefer if Congress doesn't pass meaningless resolutions pronouncing a moral view on one thing or the other.
Yep.
We're about to have another governmental default, like the Doge cuts are not like
fair.
Do your jobs. Cut
Yep.
the government, cut the spending.
Focus on what matters.
Gestures about I love this person, I don't love this person. Stop it. Go do real work.
Yep.
I did not think you were about to say that.
Congress. I don't care
Based.
about the resolution.
Robbie is based.
We're coming up, California.
Let me see. There's another video. Hold up. If y'all like what y'all hear, like, comment, sub, hit the sub button. Comment as many times as y'all wish. The more engagement the video gets, the higher the chances of this video getting seen by more people are. The higher the chances of this video getting seen by more people are, the more engagement this video gets. So if y'all really rock with this, like, comment, share, sub, do all of that, I would appreciate it to the max. Yes. Back to the show. The Hill dropped a video pertaining to Don Lemon's commentary pertaining to the Kirk memorial, to the Kirk funeral.
Right-wing commentator Benny Johnson says that Elon Musk told him at Charlie Kirk's memorial service earlier this week he was proud to sit with President Trump for that service. Many are viewing it as a sign that the pair are perhaps mending their relationship after a very public feud that took place over the summer.
And Benny Johnson.
Elon said what? He's proud?
Elon Musk told him at Charlie Kirk's memorial service earlier this week he was proud to sit with President Trump for that service. Many are viewing it as a sign that the pair...
Didn't Elon say that Trump was in the Epstein files or something to the effect of this? Wait, he's proud to be in a friendship, to reunite with somebody that he thinks is in the Epstein files, that he thinks did engaged in abuse or misconduct pertaining to children. That makes no sense, but
are perhaps mending their relationship after a very public feud that took place over the summer.
And Benny Johnson says that Charlie Kirk himself deserves credit for bringing Musk and the president back together.
Charlie said in this...
Now, after the service on Sunday, Musk posted
but the whole thing was more like a MAGA rally than a funeral. Here's many conservative voices viewed the memorial as a chance to come together in honor of Charlie Kirk. But others on the left felt that the whole thing was more like a MAGA rally than a funeral. Here's what former...
certain leftists said it was a NAZI rally. Yeah, that is crazy. That is nasty, mendacious, manipulative, dishonest, disgraceful, calumny. It is dirty. It is crappy. It is fecal. It is it is very wild. It is very wild to say it was a NAZI rally. It is very wild to say it was a NAZI rally. Yo, Ben Carson, he's black. He spoke at the funeral, bro. Anna Paulina Luna, a Latina congresswoman, bro, of Florida. She spoke. Marco Rubio, he's Cuban. He's a Latino. He spoke. Yo, how was this a Nazi? How was this a Nazi rally? it is stupid to say it was a Nazi rally, bro. Black people were there, Latino people, people of all of different races were there, were speakers, were attendees, were people in the crowd. So this invalidates the bunk, the rubbish, the drivel, the cod, the pig swallop certain leftists say. Yeah, people, yeah. Unbelievable. You gotta be bro. They gotta be high. They gotta be high on crack to believe this was a Nazi rally, bro. They gotta be high on crack to believe this was a Nazi rally. They have to be high on crack to believe this was a Nazi rally. Goofy.
CNN host Don Lemon had to say.
Donald Trump stood on the stage like a man at the center of a prophecy. He called Charlie Kirk a martyr. Other politicians promised to carry out his mission. The crowd cheered as if the passing of the man had lit some sort of sacred fire. To me, this was not mourning, this was a mobilization.
Not all of it. Not all speakers were doing what you think they were doing. Yeah. Certain people had laudable speeches, regular, normal speeches. Certain people had, Stacey Sheridan, bro, she didn't sow division in her speech. She was telling a story about her husband. She said her husband had cancer. He had it in 2022. Then he was it 2022? I forgot the year. She did say he was diagnosed with cancer. She did not specify the type of cancer, but she did say he did have cancer. She said 2 years later he passed. They had a daughter together. She said Kirk was really helpful to before her husband died. She said he sent critical medication and an oxygen machine or something like that to their residence. She said she didn't know he did this. This was unbeknownst to her. She didn't know he did this. She said she didn't know how he was able to do this, but she was very appreciative, grateful. She thanked Kirk for doing what he did. He asked how he could help the family, her husband. She said he was a good person, a nice person. He was helpful. He was caring. She said she worked for Kirk. She was offered a job at TPUSA. She got a job at TPUSA. She was working for Kirk while he was alive. She said it was the best decision she said working for for Kirk was the best decision. She said working for Kirk was her best decision. Facts. She said Kirk, she said her house got destroyed in the California fire too earlier this year. She said Kirk and Erika welcomed her and her daughter into the Kirk family. Before that, he said this is a sign that Arizona is the home for you, or something like that. He said this is a sign that Arizona is the home for you. They went to Arizona. They live in AZ now. She said she will be there for Kirk, Erika Kirk, and their 2 children, their son and their daughter. She will be there for Charlie Kirk's wife and their 2 young children. The daughter is 3, the son is over a year and almost a year and a half old at this point. Yeah, she didn't say anything divisive or bigoted pertaining to a party or a race or a religion or whatever. She told she told her story, her journey, the stuff she went through, the stuff her husband went through, how Kirk treated them, the family. Yeah, she nothing Stacy said was disgraceful or nasty. So Don Lemon, he has to be good faith. He has to be fair, but he won't be fair because he is a goofy person, bro. He is a clown, bro. Con Lemon is a bozo, bro. He really is a bozo. He's a Democratic puppet, even though he says he's registered as an independent. He talks like a far leftist though. So your registration means nothing because you talk like a far leftist. You slander people who politically disagree. You slander MAGA people, Republicans, right-wingers. You say black people who voted for Trump can't be rational people. You suck, bro.
To me, this was not mourning, this was a mobilization. And here is where
Anna Paulina Luna, her speech wasn't divisive either, really. A lot of people will disagree with her with her comparison of Kirk to MLK and JFK, yeah, but she didn't say anything crazy or derogative, or she did say a lot of colleges are indoctrination places. That is true though. That isn't a lie what Anna said. She didn't say lies. People can disagree with that, but she's not saying untruth or mendacity or telling lies in her speech. She said her story too. She said Kirk wanted her to be in a position related to Hispanic people. Forgot what the name of the position, the title of the forgot what the name was, the title was, but he wanted her to be in that position, to have that position regarding Hispanic people. She is Mexican. She AIS Mexicana. Yes. She said her story. She lauded Kirk. She appreciated Kirk for what he did for her too. There was gratefulness, appreciation. She had a lot of positive things to say in her speech regarding Kirk. All of her statements regarding Kirk were positive. She didn't say anything negative about other parties. Well, the only thing negative, but it was negative, but it was true that there are a lot of woke, far left colleges, for sure. But she wasn't lying to people. She just kept it all the way a buck. But yeah, people can disagree with Anna, but you can't say she was calling for a civil war or calling for the destruction of or the shutting down of all leftist organizations like Stephen Miller, Bozo. This dude, his speech was really dark. His speech was really villainous. His speech, it was devilish. It was it was detestable. He said, he was referring to the left when he says they build nothing, they create nothing, they're evil. He said his side of the political aisle is good. The right is superior to the left. Nah, bro. Steven, he's tripping, bro. He said the left is hate, jealousy, and other negative words. He said his side is not hate, not destruction. His bias got in the way, bro. His political bias got in the way. His biasedness to the Republican Party got in the way. Crazy. He didn't see leftists as humans, fellow Americans. He saw them as as the enemies, as ops. He saw all of them as threats, menaces, scourges, cancers, preclusions, detriments, blights, curs, blighters. It is crazy, bro. To say all of the left is evil and all of the right is good is goofy, bro. It bigoted. It is unfair. It is untrue. It is to be detested. It is hateable. It is stupid to say all of one party is good, or it is also stupid to say all. It is also stupid to say all of the right is good. It is stupid to say all of the left is good. It is stupid to say all of the left is good. It is stupid to say all of the right is. It is stupid to say all of the left is good. It is stupid to say all of the left is bad. It is stupid to say all of the left is bad. It is also stupid to say all of the left is good. It is stupid to say all of the right is good. It is stupid to say all of the right is bad. No group, no party is flawless. No party is infallible. No group, period, is infallible. There are good and evil people in all parties, in all groups, in all communities. So to say blanket statements is detrimental to the growth of everybody as a whole. As a whole, it is what it is.
To me, this was not mourning, this was a mobilization. And here is where we have to tell the truth here. What we saw in that arena was not simply faith-finding public expression, it was religious nationalism on full display.